Today we're building the base game house, so let's just jump into the build. Hello everyone, Aubrey here and welcome back to another speed build in The Sims 4. So this is a much requested house building video by you guys. I know a lot of you guys can't afford to get all of the game packs and expansion packs and all that kind of stuff. And you guys have been asking for another base game build. So yeah, here we are with another base game build. This is 100% base game stuff in this build, and it turned out to be a freaking massive house. So we have 4 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, we have 1 big kitchen, 1 living room and 1 dining room, and then we have the kind of little entrance area where we have some seating arrangement. And yeah, it turned out to be a very huge build, and I do gotta say that it is very challenging to build with only base game stuff, because you're limited to not a lot of items. I do have to say that I do believe that The Sims 4 is the one base game in the Sims series that has the least amount of stuff. And it was really challenging to try to keep a modern build. Yeah, just keep it modern and still finding new things to do. And also with the limited items that were. So I think it turned out to be a very nice build, if I do have to say so myself. Very huge build, so there is a lot of rooms, not a lot, some rooms that you're not gonna see me build, but most of them you're gonna see. The kitchen you're not gonna see me build. There is a screenshot of it in the end. There's actually 2 screenshots, and the reason for that is because the kitchen was a very basic kitchen. We didn't have that much decoration options because base game, so I thought it was a good idea to cut that out so the video wouldn't be too long. I also didn't show any of the bathrooms as usual, but there's gonna be screenshots of them in the end of the build. So just working on the roofing pieces here. Initially I wanted to have only these 2 roofing pieces on the build, but then I changed my mind in a little bit. Again, I'm trying to keep it very modern looking. So I like doing this thing with the half walls and then putting in tables just to kind of create like this fake roof piece. So it looks like where we have like this smallest of the half walls where the 2 roofing pieces is on. If you put in tables in the other half walls that are like not the highest one, but the second highest one, then you can kind of create the same feeling of it looking like it's the smallest half wall, and we have a flooring that kind of goes along with that, and then we can create different types of levels. So all of the cheat codes that I used in this build is in the description down below as usual. I know a lot of you guys ask for it, but I always list the cheat codes that I use down below, so you guys can kind of see what I used and how I do stuff. And a lot of it is just to move objects. Yeah, when you have that enabled, you can kind of do a lot of stuff and scale up and down in, you know, all that kind of good stuff. Place things where you want to place them. So yeah, move objects, fantastic cheat. So I changed my mind here. I didn't want to have like it be the same height as the one next to it, so I decided to put in some roof pieces here as well. And I'm also going to change the color of the dark wood to a little more of a light wood. I went through different iterations of this this outside look, because I wanted to keep the kind of blue pastel color it's kind of like a blue greenish turquoise pastel color. I wanted to keep that because I thought it looked really good. It made the building stand out without being like too flashy in your eyes. And the dark wood just didn't fit in, so I'm gonna change that in a little bit. We put in a lot of windows here. These windows, I chose those because they just make the rooms open up more because there's such huge windows. They're also super modern, and it's my favorite windows from the base game. So yeah, that's why we chose those. Here I'm trying to figure out what I wanted to do with the front here, because I feel like the kind of brown wood made it look a lot smaller than it actually was, like the front, and I really didn't like that. So I went through a lot of iterations of what I could do with this, and I also changed the inside of the flooring because, again, I didn't like how it looked. And this is where I really started to feel the limitations of the base game stuff. Yeah, it's not great, I gotta say. There definitely was a lot of compromises where I almost just said, you know what, screw it, this is not a base game home. I believe if I had these stuff packs and, you know, the general packs that I used, if I had those installed into the game when building this and I could use them, this would have turned out to be such an amazing build. But being a base game build, I'm overall really happy about how it turned out. You know, it's really simple, but I think I captured that modern feel to it that I really wanted to have. So yeah, working on the entrance here, and I wanted to have like this little closet area, kind of cut off but still open. So we just used an archway and put in the closet that way. Yeah, we also have, every bedroom has a walk-in closet, and the master bedroom has an ensuite bathroom and a little dressing room area. So the bathroom where we have the toilet and the shower is actually in a separate room. And then we have the room where we're gonna have sinks and like a little chair and the walk-in closet. And I tried to... yeah, here we go. I tried to make it yellow out here, and it's just, no, it wasn't working for me. It looked absolutely awful, so I changed that. Then I thought, okay, maybe like a more neutral color, but then it just kind of blended into the surroundings, and I didn't like that either. I really loved the, and I still do, I love the pop of color that it just brings without being too flashy in your eyes. So then I changed it so that it was a gray accent that worked with the build. We changed the wooden aspect of the build to be a bit more light instead of this really heavy dark brown wood. And I think that really made the build look so much better. At least from my perspective, but you might have thought that it looked better before. But yeah, it's me building, and at this point we had done the kitchen. To be honest, when I was doing the kitchen, I totally forgot to turn on my recording. My bad. But yeah, there's nothing really special about the kitchen. It's kind of cut off. We made a really simple looking modern kitchen with the counters that was available. And then I wanted to have a big dining room area here, and I couldn't find a lamp that I thought looked good, so I just decided to make my own little chandelier thing here, and I think it looks fairly decent. I'm overall really surprised what you can do with the base game. I mean, remember when I started building in The Sims 4, the base game was freaking awful, like voice crack. It was It was the worst. And just coming from The Sims 3 to The Sims 4, where there was all of these swatches with things that didn't match together, and yeah, it was not good at all. But I do think that The Sims 4 has come a long way since then, and I'm really looking forward to The Sims 5. As I said in my previous video, I'm hoping that they take all of the constructive criticism that the community have given and try to make a game that we all want. So yeah, I moved into the living room space. So there's not actually a television in the living room, and the reason for that is because I put in televisions in some of the bedrooms instead, and I wanted the living room to be a place where you could just sit and relax in front of the fireplace. And then I tried to create like these wall pieces with these lamps, and I used that a lot throughout this build, because now we have the ability to scale up and down, just bringing in a pop of color in form of the yellow. And yeah, as I said, we have the ability to scale things up and down now, which means that we can do things with the base game that we wasn't able to do before. Like, you can see that wall piece in the background there with these archways. I also just made that by scaling things up and down, changing some colors, and moving a plant up to kind of be on top of one of the archways. And then you can kind of create a wall piece that looks really expensive, but is just made from cheap material from the base game. Yeah, that's just kind of what I tried to do. Yeah, moving into the entrance here, I tried to keep it fairly simple. So we just threw in a couch, some paintings, some side tables, and yeah, that's kind of it. I mean, there's nothing really too special or fancy going on here. If you could just hear it, that was Zoe, who wanted to talk, not realizing that I was recording, and she quickly jumped down because she does not like my microphone at all. I don't know why, but she's really afraid of it. But yeah, the entrance here, nothing too fancy. I tried to bring in some pop of color in form of the carpet, because we're working with really neutral colors in this build. And that's why I chose to have like this neutral looking yellow pastel colored wallpaper, accented by this gray wallpaper. And then we kind of throw in plants and pop like a pop of color in form of a bright chair or a carpet, whatever we feel like. And to me, that's a way of just making a room that looks a bit more maybe neutral and boring looking feel that much more modern. And having to do with the base game, it's just there wasn't a lot of options for furniture. And I realized real quick that this television that I threw in, which would have been perfect, was not from the base game. It was from Get to Work. So I'm gonna delete that and replace it with another one. I don't know why I put it in. Maybe I just saw it next to one of the base game televisions and thought, you know, it's a base game item. But yeah, it wasn't. So deleted that. Here we have the hallway down to the 2 bedrooms. So down here, the bigger of the rooms have a bedroom which has a double bed inside of it. The smaller of the bedrooms have a single bed with. We also put in a desk area, and I believe we put in some bookshelves as well. This room could have used some more color looking at it now. yeah, it's just it's not my favorite room. I mean, maybe I could have done better, but it was a side room, and to be honest, I didn't actually mean to do this big of a house. It just turned out to be big because I had a vision in my head. But looking at it now, this room probably could have used some more color because it's you know, it's fine. It's a bit bland looking, but we could have thrown in some more excitement into the room. Going into the next room here. This is the bigger of the single bedroom, and I decided to use green in here. I really like the green accent with the yellow pastel color. I decided to throw in some bookcases, a desk area, green of course, and every room has its own walk-in closet. And this is where I got really annoyed, because I wanted to have, I like decorating with small decorations, putting them like everywhere and just making it feel a bit more homey, but there wasn't any decorations worth putting in here. The ones from the base game is horrible. Like, honestly, most of them is useless, and there's like these two little picture frames, one with an apple, one with an like pear or whatever, and then we have like a box with tissues in it, and yeah, the base game decoration stuff is just, it's not good. I mean, I don't know what they were thinking. So this build might not be as decorated as I usually do when I do a build. But just know it's because of the limitations of the base game and because you guys wanted the base game build, but I still think it turned out to be a very, very nice build. So just keep that in mind if you decide to download it. Then I wanted to throw in some green color outside here. I didn't want it to be all desert looking, so I decided to throw in this flower bed and keeping it really rectangular, just to kind of keep in tone with the build that we did. And yeah, there's a lot of space in the back because I didn't actually realize how much space I needed. So you could probably throw in a pool or whatever you wanted. You could, you know, just place it on a smaller lot maybe. But I tried to make the garden look simple and sophisticated, modern. That's kind of the vibe I was going for. So yeah, really simple looking, modern, and a bit edgy. I don't know. Like, I did this thing that you just saw with these round bushes, and I did do it here in the front as well. I just think it looks a bit edgy, and it's different, but it's still modern looking. I mean, it fits with the house. And then I had to fill in the rest of the spaces with the plants from the base game. And again, I do have to say, overall, the base game plants is just, yeah, it's it's not good. But having said that, I think this garden actually turned out to be quite nice. So yeah, I mean, it's, you know, it's a base game, and when The Sims 4 actually came out, people could see from the get-go that it was a different type of Sims game. And I still think it is. I still think that The Sims 3 is my favorite Sims game in the series as of yet. But I do have to say that The Sims 4 has the better building aspect. The only thing I want in The Sims 4's building aspect is terrain editing and, wow, I don't know if you could hear that, terrain editing and a color wheel. That's kind of it. I don't need like 100 different types of color swatches and patterns and stuff like that. But yeah, that's just kind of what I need, so I hope they bring that back in The Sims 5 when we get to that. But we're just finishing up outside here, and we're gonna jump into the screenshots in a little bit. Just placing some lights all around, and yeah, this is kind of the finished build. Throw in some rocks, and here we have it. So here we have the entrance to the build, and I decided to throw in some seating areas outside just to kind of make it feel a bit more homey. At this point, my sim had invited in neighbors, and I didn't realize when I had to take the pictures. So there's gonna be some sim inside of the house here, but here we have the living space going into the dining room space, where you can see the kitchen and the living area in the background from another angle here, where you have the 2 bedroom doors. The kitchen, which you didn't get to see me build, but you get to see the beautiful pictures of it, and I just love the simplicity of it. It looks simple and modern. Here we have the bedroom off the side of the kitchen, the green bedroom, let's just call it that, with the single beds. The bathroom to the master bedroom. In here we have the ensuite kind of dressing room, whatever we can call it, where we have the door into the bathroom, and we can see the master bedroom here. I love how this turned out. It's modern, simple, clean looking. Just how I like it. And the hallway down into the other bedrooms. Here we have the second bathroom, which is to the 2 bedrooms. Here we have, and as you can see in this bedroom, I really do think it needs some sort of pop of color, but yeah, remember, if you like this build and you want to get it, it's on the gallery right now, so go download it. Just search Aubrey, you should be able to find it, and yeah, tell your friends about it. Share this video so we can get the view count up again, because it's been really low lately, and I'm trying to build this channel up again as we jump into the last screenshots of the outside of the house here. I just want to say thank you so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, be sure to leave it a big like, subscribe, and share it with your friends. And yeah, there's nothing else for me to say other than have a truly fantastic day wherever you are in the world, and I will see you next time. Bye!